The Old Man and the Sea, questions 3. So here's to answer the second part of Valentina's question. The first one was in questions 2, if it was disrespectful, the fact that the boy called the old man instead of sir or just by his name, if it was disrespectful. But then she also asked if why can't we find it, in the book? And I think we should go to the book. I think we should try to investigate that. But first, guys, a question of method, In many occasions, we will never be able to know why a narrator does, certain things he does, right? But, or if we do know, we are going to be guessing in many occasions, But we know what kind of, let's say, impression, what kind of effect, that's the word I wanted, what kind of effect that use creates, So again, when I answer a question like this, I don't know if Hemingway had all of those things in mind when he decided not to call the old man Santiago throughout the book, right? But the result was the one we can perceive. So why am I telling you this, guys? Because the intention of the author is something subjective, something that is pretty much closed inside the author's mind. I say pretty much closed because when we do stuff, we show to other people what we have inside, but it's pretty much closed, right? And it's hard, so we are in the realm of hypothesis when we say, oh, maybe Hemingway wanted to do this and that and that and that. Now, when we talk about the effect, then it's not subjective. The effect is right here in front of our eyes. Everybody has the same book, everybody is reading the same thing, so we can reach the same conclusion, okay? So I'm telling you this to try to attenuate this idea of, everything is subjective and it's... Okay, so let's investigate, right? So right in the beginning, you will see that the narrator, so I'm in the first page of the book, the narrator starts the book with, he was an old man. That's the first thing we know about this man. He was an old man. And then the first time the boy appears is something like this. In the first 40 days, a boy. So this is how the boy is described. He was an old man, a boy. And then we continue. The old man was now definitely. And then the boy, the old man. The old man was thin and gaunt. And then we continue. If I turn the page, we're going to look in one of my pages, that is like a small page, I find it, everything about him was old. The old man, the boy, the old man, the old man, the old man, the old man, the old man. Okay, just in one page we have all of that, Okay, so for now we're just gathering data, okay? But first, keep in mind that the boy sometimes calls him by the name, and as a matter of fact, this is how we discovered his name, because the boy called him Santiago. The narrator doesn't call him Santiago. So right in the beginning we have Santiago, the boy said to him as they climbed the bank, and then continued, right? And the next page we have the boy again calling him Santiago. Santiago, calling his attention and then talking. Because you would expect, if you're calling a person's attention, you would say Santiago, and then you would call their attention. But when the narrator takes up the task of describing or referring to the old man, again, the old man looked at him, to the old man agreed. I would, the boy said. Where are you going? The boy asked. No, the boy said, and then I could continue again and again. giving you examples again and again. There is this part, the old man says, I am a strange old man. You know, again, he's going to reaffirm that all the time. Okay, some other parts pass. So here we have some parts that the boy is calling him old man. Keep warm, old man. You know, if we're thinking about practicality, you know, Santiago is there, and then say Santiago, and then you're calling calling his attention, so it's kind of important, the name. Now, keep warm, old man. They are, you know, you wouldn't need the name, and then the boy doesn't use the name. Okay. Next paragraph. When the boy came back, the old man was asleep in the chair and the sun was down. The boy took an old army blanket off the bed and spread it over the back of the chair over the old man's shoulder. They were strange shoulders, still powerful, although very old. So the book is emphasizing again and again. And the neck was still strong, and the creases did not show so much when the old man was asleep. So, parenthesis here. See, you know, he called him old man. Keep warm, old man. But right in the next scene, he is covering him with a blanket. He's worried about the old man. So this contributes to answer even better the previous question, right? Okay, and then as I said, I could continue going on and on. Let me see if there is something interesting here. Oh, it's also interesting that we almost never hear the boy's name, okay? Of course, it doesn't impress us so much because, you know, we follow the old man, not the boy. But you'll see when the old man is fishing, he's always thinking, if the boy was here, when the boy was here, the boy, and never, you know, his name, that is Manolin, okay? How do we know that his name is Manolin? Because there was, right in the beginning, the old man was talking to him, and he said, very well, Manolin, the old man said, I feel confident today, you know? So, again, we have this idea of the old man and the boy. Okay, just one more thing here. The other case where the old man is called Santiago, right? Remember, the old man was a superb arm wrestler, right? And then you have this thing describing the old man. Once he had the old man, who was not an old man then, but was Santiago el Campeón, right? Nearly 3 inches, and then you continue, okay? So again, he was called Santiago because people knew him as Santiago el Campeón, right? Otherwise, it's old man all the time. Okay, so what kind of effects we get by that, right? First of all, of course, to emphasize that he's old. I think this is very important for the book, to emphasize that he's old. He affirms that, the narrator affirms that not only by calling him the old man, but, you know, saying things like, even though he was very old, you know, his shoulders were powerful, but he was very old, all right? And when the old man is talking to himself, he says that, right? So it's extremely important. That's the first... I wouldn't say reason, because again, I don't know if Hemingway had that in mind, but this is the first impression. Although I really guess that he had that in mind. This is the first result we get from this. We remember that he was very old, and that's important for the story. Why? Because even though he was so old, he went through this huge challenge, you know? So it means that limitations are nothing when you have willpower, and when you are a real man in this case, and you're going to, you know, overcome obstacles, right? So it even highlights, you know, even more this huge challenge he had, and this huge deed he overcame, you know. Well, second result we get from having both of them, you know, the old man and the boy, because it sounds like a fable, you know, like a fairy tale, you know. You know, when we hear a fairy tale, we hear, once there was a pig, and the pig was walking on the street, and the pig did this, and that, and then a cat appeared, the cat did this and that, and then the man appeared. When the man saw, you know, so you have this idea of you don't need the names, you just have, you know, the description of the characters. For two reasons we have the description of the characters. Because once you don't call characters by their names, it seems like you are outside time, you know, you're not talking about this specific, think about, you know, fairy tales, you know, or fables. Think about that. When you hear one of those stories, it's like a model story. The story is happening, let's say, in an abstract reality, you know? And we know that if we want, we can apply that same model to many realities, you know? So the old man is like that, you know, his story. So we're talking about the old man, and there is this fish, and they fight, and that's the story, okay? Second reason why we don't name characters in stories like that, and this is the result we get here, because you don't need to, you know? You have, who do you have here? You have the old man. You have, secondarily, the boy, and then, just like one sentence, you have the guy who was the old man's opponent in arm wrestling, you have the other fisherman, you have the guy at the bodega there. In the end of the book, you're going to have some tourists. You know, they're nothing compared to this very clean, and the story is supposed to be like that, you know, very clean. It's just an old man fishing. It's just like that.